Hi, my name is Ellie Drew, your clairvoyant researcher. Today we're going to talk about your life purpose. So often people feel like they want to have an influence in this world or to leave the world a better place before they leave it. But also we just need to have purpose in our life, or life is kind of boring if you're just living day to day, working and paying your bills. If that was the reason we were all here, we would not be very happy people. So you always have to have a purpose. In 2003, when I had this man who had died and came into a manifesting research group that I was running on Thursday nights, this man had died 12 days previous to when he showed up in our circle. And he didn't go away. As a result of me having this relationship and this open communication between the spirit world and this physical world, people started to ask me for readings. As I started to give people readings, I started to learn things, and I was very reluctant to give people readings because it's like I didn't know what I was doing. I literally didn't know what I was doing. People would ask me questions like, what is your life purpose? That was very common. And I would sink it in and I'd ask, what is this person's life purpose? Well, I am going to tell you what the spirits have taught other people, and now we will teach you. Time after time, person after person, that was always when I was doing the reading. Why are you here? That was their first question. What is my life purpose? So I would close my eyes, sink in. I would ask into the field of this person's guide or whoever happened to show up, what is this person's life purpose? And the spirits started yelling. What do you mean, what is your life purpose? You're there on the ground. What do you need? We're not here to tell you what to do. You're on the ground. Tell us what you need. We're here to help you. And then the next person would come in. What is my life purpose? And again, the spirits would yell. What do you mean, what is your life purpose? You're there on the ground. You are there on the ground. What do you need? We are not here to tell you what to do. We're here to help you. This was the same message over and over and over again. Well, because I kept hearing the same message, I finally just had it. So when people would ask me this question, I wouldn't even bother to go in and ask. I'd say, here, this is what they're going to tell you, because this is what they've told the last 20 people. So I would go and I wouldn't ask. But the very last time that I decided, when someone had asked me this and they got yelled at again, and I'd really had it, when that person left, I just closed my eyes and I just said, listen, you guys, I don't like yelling at people. People are really, truly here to find out, are they on the right path? Do they need a course correction? They are genuinely wanting to make sure that they are in their right place, doing their right life and their work. So until you guys can give me a better answer, leave, because I don't want to be yelling at people anymore, and I'll just tell them what you guys said anyway. So until you have a better answer, I don't want to hear back from you guys. And it felt like maybe 30 feet away, there was 6, 7 people in a circle just talking. And then I just phased them out, and then I never thought about it again. About 2 months later, I started to have this spirit just following me around all day. And it's like, go away. And finally, because I was busy that day, finally I had a chance to just stop, and I went, what? And I heard, we have your answer. And I said, what was the question? And they said, you sent us away until we could come up with a better answer to what is my life purpose. And we have the answer, and it turns out that everyone's life purpose is the same. The same. When I got that information, that got my attention. And I definitely started paying attention. And I said, so what is that? I am going to give you the words for this, but being a telepath, a psychic medium, a clairvoyant, clairaudient, all the clairs, I get information that is more than just words. I get additional feelings and visualizations that come with the information to give you the fullness of this teaching. You better have a pad of paper out for this one, because you're going to want to keep this one around. Your life purpose is to be your most authentic self, centered, grounded, and appropriate from moment to moment, and only in the moment. Your life purpose is to be your most authentic self, centered, grounded, and appropriate, only in the moment. This is the feeling that came with it. From deep within me, this rumbling energy came up like it's that urge that you have to do. I'm a teacher. I have to teach. I have a very dear friend, and I call her the love chef. This woman loves to cook, and she loves to prepare food and give it away. I have an engineering son. This kid has to calculate and figure out how things work. And he was that way from the time he was a very tiny little boy. So it is that thing which is an urgency that a painter, a dancer, a singer, an artist has to paint. You have to be able to express that which is inside of you. And if you are in relationships and cultures and your own mind being told that you cannot do that thing that you just must do, you're going to feel like you're suffocating. Then the spirits added these words to me, and they said, it is not that thing that you do because of your religion, your culture, your spouse, your partners, what's expected of you. If everybody did what was expected of them, we would never have anything new and no new creativity. When you are your most authentic self, that means that the soul that resides in the housing of your biosuit, your human life, so you've got your human life personality and you have your soul personality. You are a hybrid species of two completely different entities. When you have that relationship with the body, seeking guidance from that soul aspect, then you have a dance, because that soul aspect comes in three parts. The rider, the part that's inside of you. The runner, the part that can't fit inside of you but can go access other information and create synchronicities and coincidences in your life. And the third is the observer. And that is the very deepest stillness within the center of your soul. Your soul does not fit in the soul pod that is connected to your heart chakra. It can't fit. When you are building the life from lifetime to lifetime, you can't possibly fit. So there's just the tiniest drop of the big emanation in the heart, in your soul chamber. And it still has access to the whole for your wisdom and your experiences in life. So your life purpose is to be your most authentic self. What does that soul rider who's come in here, what does it want to experience in this lifetime? And you, as a human body, a human entity with its own intelligence, its own desires, its prime directive is survival. The soul prime directive is not survival because it's eternal. The soul directive, prime directive, is to experience, to create. So it is housed in your body in order to experience, and it chose you. It could have chosen anyone, but it chose you. That means that you have an emanating light of intelligence radiating and pulsing through your physical energy body field all the time. But why don't you feel it? Because you're too busy trying to please your ego or other people or some religious ideal or some agreement that you've taken on. So in order for you to be able to be your most authentic self, you have to claim it. You have to say, I want my own sovereignty. I will have my own sovereignty, and you have to mean it. When you say it in your head, it has no power. When you say it in your body, it has power. You have to mean it. If you don't ever want to be abused again, then you have to mean it. I will never be abused again. Blah. And when you push that out into your energy field, you start to change. Because you have to change from the inside out, from the heart of the matter. Push it out. But you have to find out what is holding you back from being your most authentic self. Each organ of the body has its healthy emotion, its suppressed emotion, and its excessive emotion. That should be able to give you a clue about where you are suppressing yourself. The liver, under the ribs on the right-hand side of your body, holds the emotion of anger. Anger is a motivating energy, so anytime you're angry, you can use that angry energy to always be lucky, to have a magical life. You put it toward the things that you want, not toward the things that you don't want. And so if you suppress your anger, then you start to get sick. If you express it too much and it's excessive, then what happens is you move into rage, and then you're in the mental realm and you're just complaining and making harry-carry for everybody around you. Now, if you go to the heart, the emotion of the heart is excitability. It's also where you have stress. So if you have too suppressed of your excitability, then you're going to feel really flat, like life is flat. No joy, no happiness, just flat. And if you have too much excitability, you're going to be hyperactive and hardly breathing. You're so excited you can't breathe. So that's too much, but it can also create a lot of stress for your heart and for the rest of your body. Then you move to under your ribs on the left-hand side where you have your spleen. Very important energy. This is earth energy. When you have healthy earth energy, that means you have healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries. You know how to say yes to people, you know how to say no to people. You know how to keep your personal sovereignty so that you don't have your barn doors open to say yes to everybody and welcome everybody in, that you've got your inner sanctuary that is very guarded. Now, earth energy, when it's suppressed, means that you're needy and greedy. When it's excessive, then you're doing for others what they need to be doing for themselves, and that's your codependent behaviors. So you want to make sure that your earth energy, very powerful energy, is right in line with having appropriate boundaries. Having that open mind, that questioning mind, and that discerning heart. Then we move to lungs. Lung energy is grief. When you have someone that has died, if you move away from a place where all your friends or family are, you have this sense of loss, and that is normal energy, grief. When you suppress your grief, then that means you become rigid. That's why in Chinese medicine it's metal energy. Some cultures it's air, but in Chinese medicine it's metal, because you become too brittle in your personality, and you can end up having lung problems. So when you suppress your grief and you don't acknowledge it, it causes disease for you. If you express your grief too much on the other end, then you never get on with your life and you make excuses for never getting on with your life because you've had a loss. It also means energetically that you had too many hooks in whatever it is that you had a loss to. So I have a solution for that. You can, when you go into the center and into your heart pod, you're, remember, in zero time. There is no time and space there. So you can travel back in time before the loss. You can unhook whatever attachments you had to that loss, unhook the attachment from yourself, send it back to whatever the loss was. So now that loss item or person or place or thing That has all its energy. Now you have all your energy. And when you come back out of your meditation, you won't feel like you're missing a part of yourself. So know that you can do this for any kind of loss as far as the grief energy goes. Now, the last one is fear. Fear is locked into the kidneys. Fear energy gives you that adrenaline that you need to get something done or to run faster or to save yourself or someone else. It can be very highly motivating, but it can also get very depleted. Fear, if you suppress fear, it usually means that you have too much earth energy, that it's holding you down, or you don't have enough discipline in its, and you're allowing your emotions to run away with you. My spirit teachers tell me to always reject fear, because this is where you can drain out your energy the quickest. This is where your life force energy is stored. This is where your creative energy and sexual energy is stored. And so you want to protect your kidney energy ferociously. When I do my energy practices, I always put a shield on the back of my kidney and on my solar plexus. The kidney is where you can have people who are energetic vampires sucking you dry, or if you don't have the ability to say no, that always is pulling your energy away from you, draining your energy. So put a shield on the back of your kidney energy in the middle of your lower, it's right at your waistline. And I always have my shield big enough to also shield my lower spine. Remember, that's where you have that plug-in, where you have that gland at the base of the spine. It's a very important energetic plug-in, so that that doesn't get damaged, or I don't have too many people trying to attach to me. So you also want one on your solar plexus, because remember, the solar plexus is the bowl of all your emotions, the seat of all your emotions. And if you're going to be energetically or psychically attacked, oftentimes they go right for your emotions. So I always have a shield on there. There's been a new prayer that has come through, a prayer of protection. And I encourage all of you to be doing this now. The reason that I'm telling all of you to be doing this who are going to be watching this is because if you're watching this, I know you're my people. And what my spirit communicators are telling me is that we must, as we start to build the light, we don't want to be seen. We don't want to attract attention and be too flashy. We want to be hidden under this reflective light sphere. This is what came through. I surround myself a reflective light shield, welcoming in thought forms and beings of pure intent, reflecting back to the sender any ill will for their own lessons learned. And then there were 3 blessed bees. And when you do blessing work, you're collecting those gold particles from the sun. You collect it in the center of your heart chakra, and you build the power on the in-breath. And when you release on B, you see 2 golden discs, one spinning up the central channel from the heart and one gold spinning in the opposite direction down the center of your central channel. You do 3 of those blessings B. Also, the reason you do things in 3 is because this is a 3D reality. The first blessing is for that x-axis. Your second blessing is for the the y-axis, and then you have the z-axis. So when you do blessing, 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 and then B, you're putting it out on your 3-dimensional grid, your personal 3-dimensional grid. I'm telling you this particular protection prayer right now because anytime I am doing any work, and every morning when I get up with the rising sun now, I am doing this. So I have layers and layers and layers of this light shield now that is getting thicker and thicker every day that I do it. You want to make sure that if you are one of these 8,000 people that need to be anchored all around the world so that we can create the earth grid that we want and anchor this energy that is going to be coming through here in the not too far future, We need to be able to take all panic energy or anything like that and anchor it. My spirit communicators are telling me that we do not want to shine too brightly, that we want to make sure that our inner circle and that the information that is coming to us comes through us through the filter of this protection shield, this light shield. So I will say it to you again, and we will also put it up on the screen for you. I surround myself a reflective light shield, welcoming in thought forms and beings of pure intent, reflecting back to the sender any ill will for their own lessons learned. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. When I do it, I do blessings because I know that just gathers up those gold particles, and I build it and then be. I'm going to go in and see what else they want to say about this part. In this segment, we have what is your life purpose. We have the emotions of the organs now, so you can keep on track if you're being appropriate with your emotions or if you're being inappropriate and where you might need to make some changes in your life. And you've been given the light shield meditation. So that is your teaching for this section. And I wish you well as you continue your journey of remembering. This is Ellie Drew, your clairvoyant researcher. Bye-bye.